Yo guys, welcome back for another video with Nick. Just a little update on how everything is going. We are 4 weeks out from the competition. Today is Monday, the 17th of August. So we are 4 weeks out, or less than 4 weeks out, and I want to talk to you about what I'm gonna do coming the next four weeks. What my plans are, and how I'm planning on getting everything ready for the competition. So my diet, my training, what kind of cardio I'm doing, what kind of supplements I'm taking, and so forth. So let's get into it.
So guys, let's get into it. As you can see, this is my 4 week out plan for the cut. So as you can see here, this is an overview of what I'm going to do the next 4 weeks, getting ready for peak week, getting ready for the competition, diet, cardio, supplements. So let's start out by cardio. As you can see, cardio has increased over the last couple of weeks, of course, because you want to burn more fat and you want to get low in the glycemic level inside your muscles. So what I've been doing is I'm actually doing 20 minutes of cardio every morning before breakfast. And before, when I was around 8 weeks out, 6 weeks out, I was doing a steady state cardio, which means I was just walking slowly or in a decent pace, just to get heart rate up for about 20 minutes to 25 minutes. But now I'm changing it up because I want to burn more fat. I want to get my heartbeat going and my blood flowing. So as you can see, I'm gonna have a high interval, which means I'm being 40 seconds where I'm actually just taking it in a steady pace, keeping the heart rate up, and then for 20 seconds I'm gonna give it everything I got, and after those 20 seconds I go back to a 40 seconds where I have a nice and decent pace, so lowering the heartbeat again. And I'm gonna do this every minute for 20 minutes. The same kind of deal I'm doing after my workouts in the afternoon when I go down training. So post workout I'm doing 20 minutes of cardio again, high intensity with 40-20 split, just to get that heartbeat going and the blood flowing and the fat burning intensifying. Moving on to supplements. So what am I doing for supplements? Well, since we're 4 weeks out, this is the time for kicking everything in that you have that you can actually use to burn those last percentage of fat. I'm still using protein shakes. A lot of people are against protein shakes during the last weeks of cut because it is liquid protein and the body doesn't really have to work for it in order to absorb it. But I like to use them because I feel like it's a positive effect on me, and it allows me to eat in a steady pace without actually overshooting anything. So for that matter, I like to use the protein shakes. So next thing is the creatine. As you can see, I'm still using creatine because I want to keep the strength up, even though I'm only 4 weeks out and the 4 weeks after the competition. I want to keep the strength up as long as possible. I'm gonna keep using creatine until week 2 or 2 weeks out from the competition. Then I'm gonna cut creatine off because I wanna eliminate the factor of the water that resides in the muscle because of the extra creatine. So that's the plan. Also, I'm using fat burners now. Right now I'm using something called Thermopure from MyProtein, which is a fat burner. I take 3 pills a day, which is the recommended doses. I take 1 pill in the morning for my first cardio and 2 pills in the afternoon for my post-workout cardio. Also, I'm using CLA, which is an oil source that helps you burn fat as well, and multivitamin and D vitamins. So make sure that the supplements is on point here for the next 4 weeks to really intensify the effect of my diet. So moving on to the diet, as you can see in the table below the diet marker, we have the weeks on the left side and the nutrients on the right side. So what kind of nutrients am I looking at? Well, 4 weeks out, which is this week, I'm eating 2,600 calories, 290 grams of protein, 70 grams of fat, and 198 grams of carbs. And I'm pretty much keeping the protein the same for all the time, or for all the days. But the carbs for each week is gonna be dropped. As you can see, next week I'm dropping down to 100 grams of carbs a week. and or a day, sorry, a day, and in week 2 it's 50 grams, and in peak week it's gonna be 0. I'm gonna go into more details on the peak week after this slides here. Of course, there's also gonna be some high carb days. I prefer to have a high carb day between 2 to 3 days after a low carb days or normal days. I try to mimic my high carb days on my the day before leg day or on my leg day, so that I have that extra energy on the leg day. Starting out in this week, I'm gonna have 2,800 calories, 60 grams of protein, 35 grams of fat, and 360 grams of carbs. Because it's high carb day, of course, you wanna increase the carbs a lot and decrease the fat and protein. Of course, you wanna keep the protein at a sensible level because you still need the protein. The third week or 3 weeks out is going to be 2,200 on my high carb day. So the calorie intake is going to stay almost the same as you can see throughout. But I'm going to drop down protein to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. The same amount of fat, and again I'm going down in calorie or in carbs. And as you can see last week, again a drop in carbs and a drop in protein, but the fat stays the same. So why am I doing this? Well, I'm doing this because the leptin level in your blood and in your muscles is dropping when you are doing a cut, and this really slows down the hormone production and your metabolism. So in other words, you stop losing fat and start to lose muscle as well. So by having these high carb days, you increase these levels again, and kind of trick the body into keep burning fat in the major caloric deficit that is in. So avoiding that survival mode that the body is going to be put in, and keep forcing it to burn that extra fat that we really don't want to lose in from nature's perspective. So moving on till peak week. So peak week, what am I doing for peak week? As you can see here, this is my initial plan for peak week. This is taken from Massive Joe's, which is also a YouTuber, so a shout out to him. I haven't done this before. I haven't done a competition before, so it's my first competition. And I don't have a coach or anyone to actually guide me, so everything I do is based on other people's knowledge and what I've been reading from scientific papers and so forth. So I tried to come up with my version of this peak week, and as you can see here, this is pretty similar to what Massive Joe's did for his competition prep. So Saturday, we had the competition on the Saturday, the 12th of September. So we start with the peak week the Saturday before. So what I'm gonna do is, in the first five days in the peak week, I'm depleting carbs, which means I'm not getting any carbs whatsoever from any other source than my vegetables. So my broccoli and my it's pretty much just gonna be from the broccoli or the spinach. And then the last 3 days I'm gonna be loading up for carbs. So eating 50 grams of carbs with every meal. The protein I'm gonna bump up when we hit peak week, so I'm gonna get up around 320 grams of protein, just to make sure that I don't lose any more muscle than absolutely necessary over those weeks, over those days. I'm just gonna keep it the same the whole week, even in the loading period. So in the loading period, I'm gonna get around the same amount, around 300 grams of carbs a day. So carbs in with every meal, and around 50 grams of carbs every meal for 6 meals a day. So again, sodium or salt, I'm loading the first couple of days, the first 4 days of this peak week. The reason for this is because I want to have a lot of sodium in the water. I want to draw all the water from the skin into the muscle cells, and kind of making sure that every muscle is going to be filled up with that extra sodium to keep that pump going in the last couple days. Then when we hit Wednesday, I'm going to start depleting. So depleting all the salt out, and only loading salt again on stage day, because you want to have that salt to pull the water and the nutrients into the muscles in order for them to look vascular on stage. And what about water? Well, water, I'm going to be loading water in the first 5 days as well, until Wednesday, because I really want to make sure that all the different kind of bad substances in the body, such as sugars or the oversaturation of salt as well, is gonna be flushed out. So my body is really getting cleaned out from this heavy water loading. And then on the Thursday, I'm gonna deplete it completely. So not drinking any water, almost only as much water that's absolutely needed. So only when I'm really thirsty, a little bit of water. And then Friday, I'm gonna keep the water on minimal because I don't want to make any water come back into the skin. So in other words, to make the skin really tighten to close to the muscles. And Saturday, the same thing on stage. I don't want to drink a lot of water because then I'm gonna look bloated on stage and watery. I really want to get that nice dry look on the muscles, even though I'm gonna go for the vascularity. So I'm trying to keep the water minimal. So what about training? Well, training is going to be pretty standard. I'm going to keep it the normal training for the first 2 days of that week, so Saturday and Sunday. So whatever fits in the schedule is going to be trained there. I'm going to see if I can try and match it up, so when Monday is going to hit the legs day, it matches up with what I've been training all the other weeks. I'm doing legs Monday because I want to make sure that my legs recover before competition properly. After Monday, I'm gonna hit back and biceps and really getting that last pump into the back, getting the last few ounces of glycogen in the muscles out, so it's really completely depleted and everything in the muscles are used. The same deal for Wednesday, where it's chest, tri, and shoulder. And then Thursday and Friday, I'm just gonna rest completely because now we are loading the carbs, as you can see, and depleting salt, depleting water. So what we really want to do is we want to make sure that this glycogen that we are adding to the system is not gonna be wasted by burning it up completely. So in other words, just keep resting and really preparing mentally for the stage day. And then the stage day, of course, is gonna be the pump up backstage before hitting the actual stage. So that's gonna be a workout in itself. And I'm gonna film some of that in order to show you what's actually gonna happen. So what about cardio? Well, cardio is gonna be normal the first 5 days in this week. So the same thing I've been doing the whole 4 weeks. 20 minutes of high intensity cardio in the morning, 20 minutes of post-workout cardio, high intensity, really getting the fat burn to go. But then the last 3 days, no more cardio. And the reason for that is, again, because we're loading carbs, we don't want to burn these carbs or the glycogen that we're getting into the body, because we really want to have that glycogen storages ready for when we do the stage pump. So from Thursday until this competition, there's no more cardio whatsoever, because we don't want to simply lose the possibility of getting that proper stage pump.
So as you can see, guys, there's a lot of things that needs to be done now with the last 4 weeks. As you can see, I've made a pretty detailed plan on what I'm going to do in order to get ready for the competition. So hopefully everything's going to go smooth. I went for some measurement yesterday, and my fat percentage is going down, and my muscle mass is actually going up, which is the perfect situation for me. So, but over the next 4 weeks, I will be losing some muscle mass, and I will not see any more gains. The gains are gone because we are in a so dense caloric deficit. So, of course, I'm going to be more tired and not have energy to do these kind of things. So, but I hope you guys stay tuned. Remember to like and subscribe the videos and our YouTube channel. Like us on Facebook, and I hope you'll follow up. Also, at the competition day, I will be shooting some video on my prep. I'll be taking some pictures of how everything is going, so look forward to that. And the next video I'm gonna make is gonna be for the peak week video. So what I'm gonna do the last week, to go a little bit more into detail, so you guys can follow it. So hopefully enjoy it, guys, and remember, don't quit, do it, and I'll see you around.